and you presented a very comprehensive plan to repair all the facilities. You remember that book, Stanley?
Yes.
It had pictures, it had the layout, and a credit to Mr. Roy Canton, exactly. who I might say happens to be a Tomian, okay?
Yes.
He lives in St. Croix, but he's from over here. And you guys came and blew us away because they were detailed. Of course, you asked for a lot of money. And we went to Government House. Senator White and I, we met with Governor DeYoung and Mr. Louis Penn. At the time, he was the Chief of Staff.
Correct.
And your request was, I think, close to $3 to $4 million.
The total was upwards of $5 million.
Upwards of 5. And I want you to, for the listening audience, please give us an update of all those projects that you have done over the period of a couple of years, where we're at with them now, and what is left to be done, if any.
Right. What we did, Commissioner Williams, myself, and the Assistant Commissioner on St. Croix, which was St. James at the time, what we did is, along with the staff, we made an assessment of all the facilities that we had. With the assessment that we did, it included the scope of work, and the scope of work basically means that you identify everything that needs to be done at each facility, and we itemize everything from the lighting to resurfacing courts, rehabilitating fields, rehabilitating recreational facilities, centers, everything, the whole gambit. We even took a look at the beaches that we had, which were under our jurisdiction, such as Coki Point Beach, Brewers. Well, Brewers Beach is one of the beaches that we basically just provide the lifeguard service for. But we did a total assessment of every facility that we had under our jurisdiction, and we also did even look at some of the different facilities that were under the Department of Housing Authority. So we did a comprehensive assessment. And when we came up with the assessment with pictures and everything, and when we gave the assessment to you guys and also to the Office of the Governor, they were overwhelmed by the state that the recreational facilities that were in. What happened after that was with the assistance of you, Franke Hoheb, and Senator White and the Governor, they sat down and they said, okay, well, we can't give you the total amount because that was not, the total amount was not available. So what they did was give $3 million, 1.5 for St. Thomas, for the St. Thomas St. John district, and 1.5 for the St. Croix district. And with those funds, we were able to. Do large improvements with all the different facilities that we have. Basically, there's not one basketball court that's under the jurisdiction of Housing, Parks and Recreation that basically may not have been resurfaced, and also energy efficient lights have been installed in each of those facilities. We did an overall assessment at the Winston Ramos Center, which is one of the facilities that I'm extremely proud of, and the staff at Housing, Parks and Recreation worked diligently. We wouldn't have been able to do the work that we did without the staff of Housing, Parks and Recreation. Before I even move forward, I mean, everyone in the Department of Housing, Parks and Recreation would be a true testament to the success that we have attained in this department. Winston Ramos, that's one of my pride and joy. Winston Ramos, I don't know how many of you out there have had an opportunity to visit the Winston Ramos Center, but it's an excellent facility. Excellent facility. I put it second to none.
Well, let me comment on that, Stanley, because I can't really rush over Winston Ramos. I think the public need to know what happened with Winston Ramos. After you were given the initial $3 million, there was a need to come back to the trough again for more money.
Okay.
And we gave you, I think it was, how much money we gave you for that?
Well, the $3 million total wasn't for Winston.
No, it was not. I said we came back and we gave you some money for Winston Ramos.
Correct.
And all we wanted Stanley to do was to fix up Winston Ramos.
Correct.
You think that was enough for Stanley Smith? No. Stanley went and he partnership with a private concern.
Yes.
And went and did. Oh my God, the place looks so fabulous now. Explain to us how far you went with that, Stanley?
Yeah, what we did as a department, we started a public-private partnership with Virgin Islands Capital Management, and Virgin Islands Capital Management is one of the agencies that are here in the Virgin Islands that they don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. If you look at jazz in the park in the eve and some of the Friday afternoons, that's one of the projects that Virgin Islands Capital Management have done. Virgin Islands Capital Management has came in and they provided, we purchased all the material for the roof, they installed it, they came and they brought people in and they did a lot of the tiling on the floor. They did a yeoman's job as to get all the facility in the shape that it should be. They did over the stage. The facility is excellent, and they haven't stopped as of yet. I will get into the rest of some of the stuff that they have been doing for us along the way.
I remember, Stanley, when I had the distinct privilege and honor to speak at one of the dedications, and I think it was just the outside tiny tot area, and right. I could not believe how much money the total private-public partnership spent on Winston Remo.
It's close to about $100,000.
Is Winston Remo available for the public to come and have meetings? They have a stage there. Can the public come and do their little thing and have meetings and stuff there? Is it available to public, or just tell us about that?
It's there for the public.
Well,
it's there for the public, and the facility is being underutilized. And I'm going to venture out to say one of the reasons why Winston Remo has been underutilized is there is a fair somewhat of people coming into the area. We have had a lot of plans, and we put plans in place to have some instructors come in and do some programs in the evening and stuff like that, but it's kind of difficult to have people to come in and willingly say that they're going to come into that area and to utilize the facility.
So then let me take this opportunity then, Stanley, on behalf of the department, on behalf of Senator White's office, let me invite the public at large to go and visit this facility. You're going to be impressed.
Yes.
Stanley is saying he wants you to come and use the facility. It's free of charge, Stanley? Free of charge. Yep. It's air conditioned?
Some portion.
I remember it have a nice little auditorium type. It have a tiny tot area. It have office space. It have a space for arts and craft, computers. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen,
we have improved the kitchen where in the summer program that we have, which we'll get into probably a little later. We have folks that come in from some of the people that come in and teach the kids how to make tarts and done bread and how to cook fish soup and fry fish. And
just do me a favor, when they're happening and they're doing the cooking up, they call me, I want to come visit. Yeah. Stanley, I got some other points I want to touch on. The community center in St. John, briefly touch on that for me, because I need to know about it. You don't have to get into detail.
Right. The community center on St. John, as one of the facilities that is really troubling to me. We really need to do a lot of improvements in that facility. We had an appropriation for $250,000 that we wanted to utilize to rehabilitate the center in St. John, but the department, Commissioner Williams, myself, we made a determination that $250,000 probably wouldn't have been enough to really do the just cause for that facility. If we did a $250,000 improvement on the facility, it would be like Haspraj. And one of the things that we have been looking at is not doing things in that fashion anymore, because you know most times that in old saying in the Virgin Islands, what's temporary becomes permanent. So